to the Lake Show. Here's how Russell Westbrook performed last season with the Washington Wizards. About 22 points a game, 44%, 32% from deep. 11.5 rebounds per game. That was a career high for Russ. 11.7 assists, led the league. Triple-double machine, we know.
Yeah, Allie, and I was a young boy, you know, maybe 10, 11, and I remember watching, Oscar Robertson, and this guy right here, and there he is. There he is. I'm going to lay low and allow the press conference to do its thing.
We are moments away as we want to get you live now to Staples Center. Russell Westbrook is now a Laker.
I just want to give a reminder to, if you could keep your phones down somewhat and not to stand up during the press conference, and we'll be good, and to wait till we call on you to ask a question. And for the mic. All right, we'll give it over to Rob.
This is an exciting day, and appreciate everybody being here in person. There's a few people we want to thank before we get into the formal introduction of Russell. First, I wanted to thank Kyle Kuzma, Montrezl Harrell, and KCP for their Laker legacies. Two of those players, of course, are champions with us, and they'll always be Lakers, so I want to thank them for their journey here. Wanted to thank the Washington Wizards organization, Ted Leonsis, and their general manager, Tommy Shepard, just for the spirit of collaboration and professionalism and handling a transaction that was seen as a win-win for both franchises. And then I wanted to also thank Thad Fouché, Russell's agent, just for his role in all of this as well, and his spirit of collaboration once we made the trade to onboard Russell with our team. I think today is an incredibly exciting day for the Lakers organization. To be sitting on the podium to introduce one of the best playmakers that's ever played in the game is something we feel incredibly fortunate and blessed to do today. We had some goals this offseason as we were transitioning into building our team, and two of the primary things we wanted to address were adding another playmaker to our roster and then adding shooting. And I think over the last couple of weeks, I'm sure all of you have seen that we've been able to meet those goals with with a lot of confidence. And today is about the playmaker piece. I think in thinking about Russell Westbrook, there's two things that come to mind for me as a general manager. One is that he's one of the most liked and respected and beloved players in the league by players he's played with. He's an incredible leader, and when you talk to teammates from the other storied franchises he's played for, to a man, the input you get is that he's one of the great teammates they've played with, and that speaks to his character and his leadership. And those are qualities that are incredibly important to our team. And then the second thing is, I think he is in an elite class of players in terms of his competitive nature. One of the core qualities as we build a roster is seeking out guys that have an ultra sense, a heightened sense of being competitive warriors on the court, players that played with the ultimate sort of grit and grind and tenacity, and Russell stands in an elite class in that category, and that's drawn us to him. And then I would say the last thing that I've really seen in the growth of his game is early in our careers. I think all of us, when we're young, we see things a certain way, and a lot of his triple doubles early were done with force, but I think now his triple doubles are done with force and with thoughtfulness, and how he uses the pieces and the players he plays with as teammates and makes the sum of the parts greater than each individual. And I think he's really learned how to think the game at a higher level. So those are some of the qualities that attracted us to this day, and we're proud to introduce Russell Westbrook as a Laker and take your questions. So thank you.
With Jim Hill, first question. Thank you, Rob.
First of all, Russell, welcome back. We were just talking earlier about when you were about 12 years old, you were watching the Laker parades and stuff like that. And even then, you knew you wanted to be a Laker, and how much this day means to you. The other part of the question is, In the past, you've been used to being the focal point of the offense. Now you don't have to worry about that. And what adjustments will you make now that you're playing with people like AD and LeBron?
I mean, first, man, it's surreal. I think it still hasn't kind of hit me yet that being from LA, growing up, not too far from here, being able to watch the parades, try to go to them, miss school to try to go to them, being a Laker fan and being from LA, but now everything coming full circle for me is it's a blessing. You know, it's a lot of things I can't put into actual words just because, you know, some of these dreams don't come true for people like myself. And I'm truly blessed and thankful for this opportunity, and you know, I can't wait to get started. And then secondly, and I've been blessed to be able to go into my 14th season, and each year I try to find ways, like Rob mentioned, to be able to uplift and make my teammates better around me. And AD and Brian are friends of mine first, and me being their teammate, my job is to come in and uplift them, and they'll do the same with me, vice versa. And as the season prolongs, we will figure it out. There will be ups, there will be downs, and that's normal. That's okay. But we will figure out how to play the best way that we want to play to be able to win a championship.
Kyle Goon, Orange County Register. Russ, I was just wondering what it was like, kind of sort of getting a comfort level that you guys could kind of work a chemistry and a fit on and off the court. What were those conversations like, and how did you get comfortable with the idea that you guys could all play together?
I mean, honestly, you know, this stuff happened so quickly. This happened so fast, you know, last week or 2 weeks or so. But we've had brief conversations and talked about, obviously, what we need to do and how we need to do that. And we'll address that as training camp and as the season comes along, and we'll figure it out.
Brad Turner, LA Times.
Russ, when you went through this process, how draining was it? How tiring was it? And how happy was your family that you got back home to LA?
I mean, it was, you know, anytime a situation like this comes about or an opportunity presents itself, it can be stressful, it can be a lot of emotions, but ultimately the biggest thing for me is being in this league when you know teams that actually want you and actually want you to be a place. To me, that means more than anything else. And at that point, it's my job to be to make sure that I come and to come and compete and make sure that we have a chance to compete for a championship. And yes, my family was very, very happy.
Hey, Russ, welcome back to LA. When you look at the way the league is kind of shaping up right now, where do you see this team stacking up with some of these other contenders, and how meaningful is it for you to be back in a situation where you can say at the start of the year that the goal is to win a championship, and that's potentially attainable with this group?
Yeah, man, to be honest, my mindset is I never really worry about no other team. You know, to be honest, I only can control what's in our locker room and how we're able to compete and go out. And I put our team up against anybody, and that's just kind of how my mindset is, and that's where I stand with that.
Yeah, Russell, do you feel like you have anything to prove?
No, I don't. I've been blessed and thankful to be able to be in this league so long, and lucky to be able to play and be healthy.